are investigating a shooting and crash that happened just a few hours ago. Good morning. I'm Lindsay Shively.
And I'm Patrick Fazio. One man is in critical condition after being shot and crashing. The car crashed at 82nd and Troost. And that's where we find 41 Action News reporter Sarah Plake. Sarah?
Yeah, a man and woman were inside that car, and then they crashed just right down the street here. But there was a shooting before that, and that's leading police to wonder if that's the reason why the car went out of control. So the car, went out of control, crashed into a pole down there. There is still a lot of debris in the roadway, and you can see some broken glass down there as well. But the scene is cleared at this point. We don't know if the shooting was before they got in the car or while they were actually in it. Police don't know where the shooting happened either. The man's in critical condition, and the woman has been released from the hospital. So, of course, if you know anything, just call police. We're live in Kansas City, Missouri. Sarah Plake, 41 Action News.
Well, good morning. Today we are going to see a fantastic day, the perfect day for St. Patrick's Day. And if we look at our American Century Investments live sky view looking towards Kansas City, great start to the day. It's just a little bit on the chilly side. Check out our temperatures so far this morning. 36 in Maryville, 39 in Bethany, 43 so far in Richmond, and 40 in Harrisonville. So great start. Cool. We do have less wind this morning. Winds are calm to right around 5 to even 10 miles per hour. And the great news about this is that today our winds are going to remain on the calm side. And so we're not going to be dealing with the gusty winds, but we are going to be dealing with a lot of sun, temperatures just a little bit cooler. Right now, if we factor in our winds plus the wind chill or plus our temperatures, it feels like 36 in Maryville, 25. That's what it feels like in Lawrence. So this morning, you're definitely going to need to grab your coats and your long sleeves. So here's what you need before you do head out the door. Your t-shirt for later on today, but first you need your coat, some long sleeves. You're gonna need your jeans today because it is gonna be just a little bit on the cool side. But then sunglasses, lots of sun as we do head into the morning, but more clouds will increase later on this afternoon. So coming up, I will break down the shower chances plus a weekend cool down.
Nicole, thank you. President Obama announced his nominee to fill the empty seat on the Supreme Court, but there's still a long road ahead.
Yeah, today Obama's nominee, Chief Judge Merrick Garland, will head to Capitol Hill to meet with senators. The White House hopes to convince Republicans to hold confirmation hearings.
Some are saying the president's nomination is setting the stage for a constitutional showdown because Senate Republicans say they won't hold a hearing for any nomination Obama makes. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has already said he won't meet with the nominee.
But not every Republican senator is on board with the plan to pretty much ignore the president's Supreme Court nominee. A Kansas lawmaker is going against the wishes of his party.
In a 41 Action interview with 41 Action News, Kansas Senator Jerry Moran says he would vote on the nominee.
I certainly would take my responsibilities very seriously, and that would include trying to determine whether or not this nominee fits my criteria for what I believe a Supreme Court justice should, their view on the law, what it should be.
And Jerry Moran's fellow senator from Kansas doesn't hold the same view. In a tweet, Senator Pat Roberts said, quote, "This is not about the nominee. It's about giving the American people and the next president a role in selecting the next Supreme Court justice." Roberts did vote to confirm Garland to the D.C. Appeals Court almost 20 years ago.
Missouri Senator Roy Blunt joining the GOP chorus. He tweeted he will not vote for the nominee, but also said the president has every right to nominate someone and that the Senate has the constitutional responsibility to decide if it's the right person at the right time.
On the other side of the aisle, Missouri Democratic Senator Claire McCaskill is telling her co-workers to do their jobs. She tweeted, since the Senate began holding hearings on nominees in 1916, every pending nominee has received a hearing.
Republicans are also using an old 1992 speech by Vice President Joe Biden to their advantage.
In it, Biden said Congress should not schedule confirmation hearings during an election year.
As a result, it is my view that if a Supreme Court justice resigns tomorrow or within the next several weeks, or resigns at the end of the summer, President Bush should consider following the practice of a majority of his predecessors and not name a nominee until after the November election is completed.
I think you'd have riots. You know, I'm representing a tremendous, many millions of people.
That's the prediction from Donald Trump if he gets to the Republican convention with a delegate lead but is denied the nomination.
Now, right now, Trump leads the delegate race, but if the billionaire doesn't reach 1,237, it would mean a contested convention.
The last time that happened, 1976, it was right here in Kansas City when Ford and Reagan battled for the nomination. That contested convention took place at Kemper Arena. 40 years later, Republicans are on course for an even tougher battle.
Charles Wheeler was mayor of Kansas City during the 1976 Republican convention, and he says, much like this year's race, voters were tired of Washington politics, but there is a difference.
Biggest difference is that the Republicans were well behaved, and this group that will convene in Cleveland may not be well behaved.
Back in 1976, Gerald Ford won on the first ballot.
The Republican National Committee not ruling anything out. Leaders are preparing for all possibilities.
There's 3 candidates now who believe that they have a path to the nomination. So from an RNC perspective, we're going to continue to prepare for all contingencies, including an open convention.
Now, the Republican National Convention is July 18th through the 21st in Cleveland.
Meanwhile, even after his big win in Ohio, Texas Senator Ted Cruz is urging Governor John Kasich to drop out of the race.
At this point, he had lost 20 states before Ohio, and it's mathematically impossible for him to go forward.
Look, let me just tell you something. Neither of those guys can win a general election. So maybe they're spoiling it for the Republican Party and for the conservative movements.
The Republican debate set for next week in Salt Lake City is now canceled. Fox News called off the debate after Donald Trump said he would not attend. After he pulled out, Governor Kasich did as well.
Both Democratic candidates took some time off from major campaign events yesterday. They're getting set for the next round of primaries and caucuses next week. Arizona, Utah, and Idaho will hold contests on Tuesday.
A new record set for turnout in the Missouri primary. New numbers show nearly 1.6 million of the state's 4 million registered voters cast their ballots on Tuesday. That's about 39%. The previous high was 36% rather, 8 years ago.
Well, that high turnout translated into problems at polling places, and the election board is working to figure out what went wrong and how to fix it.
Now, the issue resolved around these e-books. Volunteers use them to check voters in. Tuesday was the first time the election board used the e-books with a new upgrade, and instead of taking seconds to check someone in, at times it took 5 to 10 minutes.
We don't know if it was our e-poll books. We don't know if it was our internet connection. We don't know if it was our vendor server. We're investigating all avenues to see what happened.
The next election day in Kansas City is April 5th.
And turning to politics on the state level, the Republican candidates for Missouri governor will take part in their first debate today. John Bruner and Eric Greitens, that is, Catherine Hanaway, and Lieutenant Governor Peter Kinder will all participate. It's set for tonight at 7 in Columbia.
Pregnant women are sometimes told they have to eat for 2 now. Why this is a dangerous misconception.
And also, happy St. Patrick's Day. We have everything you need to know if you're heading out to the parade today.
Well, chilly start now, but will it be cold for the St. Patrick's Day parades? I'll break all that down coming up.
No rain, though?
No rain.
All right, we'll take that. Something to celebrate right there.
I'm sure nobody's surprised that today is St. Patrick's Day.
With thousands of people expected for today's St. Patrick's Day parade, police will have extra eyes to watch all the action.
Along the parade route in Midtown and Westport, police will use 17 portable cameras. They're placed on light poles, buildings, and traffic signals.
It provides us that information that provides the commanders the information that they need so that they send the right number of officers to the right place at the right time to handle whatever situation comes up.
And if you plan to attend the parade today, here's what you might want to know about these road closures. It will run south down Broadway through Westport and eventually ends at around 43rd Street.
That means several busy streets in the Midtown and Westport areas will be closed starting at 8:30. Broadway between 31st and 43rd will close.
J.C. Nichols Parkway between 43rd and 47th, as well as the other streets that you see here in red.
They will all reopen at 1:30.
Well, a new and said to be healthier fad that is spreading throughout offices, sit and stand desks. Why researchers are saying it might not really be that much better for you.
If you're one of those people who loves to decorate for the spring holidays or just craft in general, we have 9 ways you can save at craft stores. Some of the suggestions include using multiple coupons or using in-store classes for your kids while you shop. Hey, go to our Facebook page and read all the tips about this. Comment and let us know what you think of these tips or if you have any secrets of your own.
I'm going to put my kids to work.
There you
start
go.
making stuff.
Have them craft for you.
There we go.
I like looking up coupons on my phone.